The offer letter arrives while you are eating dinner at your parents' house. $35,000 a year. You read the number twice. You are 22 years old, and this is the first time anyone has agreed to pay you a fixed annual amount in exchange for your time. You do the math on your phone before clearing the plates. $35,000 divided by 12 is $2,917 a month. You picture the apartment. You picture the car. You picture a version of yourself that earns money, real money, deposited on a schedule into an account with your name on it. Your mother looks at you from across the table and asks if it is good news. You nod. She smiles. Neither of you understands yet what you just signed. You have not arrived anywhere. You have entered a structure, and the structure has rules you will not see until they have already cost you the most productive years of your life. The first deposit hits 2 weeks later. $2,917 is what you calculated. $2,204 is what arrives. Federal tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare. The difference between what you earned and what you received is $713. You did not agree to this deduction. You did not negotiate it. It was removed before the money touched your account. You have been working for 14 days and the first lesson is already complete. Your salary is not your salary. Your salary is what remains after the system takes its cut. And the system always eats first. Your take-home pay is $2,204 a month. Rent is $1,050. Car insurance is $180. Phone is $85. Gas is $140. Groceries are $310. Student loan minimum is $280. After everything, you have $159 in discretionary income. You learn to measure your life in margins. The margin between what arrives and what leaves is $159. That is one unexpected expense from zero, one flat tire, one urgent care visit, one Friday night you forgot to decline. You contribute nothing to savings, not because you are irresponsible, because $159 does not have room for responsibility. It only has room for survival. 3 years in, you changed jobs once. The new salary felt like a breakthrough. $48,000 is 37% more than $35,000. You expected to feel 37% richer. You do not. Your take-home is $3,040. That is $836 more per month than before. But you moved into a one-bedroom because sharing a wall with a stranger for 3 years was enough. The new rent is $1,380. The difference between the old rent and the new rent is $330. Your car needed replacing. The monthly payment is $340. Your raise gave you $836. Your new expenses took $670. Your net improvement is $166. You now have $325 a month in margin instead of $159. Your salary grew by 37%. Your freedom grew by 4%. This is the first time you notice the pattern, but you do not yet have a name for it. You will. You are promoted to manager. The salary increase comes with a title and an office with a door that closes. You celebrate with a dinner that costs $94 at a restaurant where you do not check the price of the wine. You feel, for the first time since the offer letter, that you have made it. Your take-home is $4,020. You start contributing 4% to your 401k because HR mentioned the company match. You set up a savings auto transfer of $200 a month. You buy a couch that is not from a thrift store. You hang a print on the wall that costs $45. The apartment begins to look like a photograph of someone who has things figured out. You check your savings balance on a Saturday morning, and it reads $2,400. You feel calm. You feel stable. You feel like someone who is building something. You post nothing about it. You tell no one. But you walk differently into the office on Monday. The knot in your stomach that has been there since you were 22 loosens for the first time. You are not building anything. You are standing on a ledge and calling it a foundation. The calm you feel is the silence before the arithmetic catches up. You are now in the top 25% of individual earners in the United States. You know this because you Googled it at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. You expected the statistic to feel like validation. It doesn't. You live in a one-bedroom. Your car is 3 years old with a loan balance of $11,400. Your 401k has $28,000 in it. A friend named Nathan runs a small business, an S-Corp, 8 employees, a warehouse, nothing glamorous. He earns roughly what you earn. But when you compare tax returns over beers on a Friday, the math splits in two. You paid an effective rate of 26.4%. He paid 17.1%. The difference is $8,370 per year. Over a decade, that is $83,700, the price of a down payment on a house you do not own. You ask him how. He explains. He pays himself a salary of $55,000, the minimum the IRS allows for his role. The rest he takes as distributions, which are not subject to payroll tax. His business deducts the truck, the phone, the meals, the insurance, the home office, and the health plan, all before income is calculated. You deduct nothing. Your employer deducts everything. The first rule: a salary is the most expensive form of income the tax code offers, not because it is taxed the highest, because it is taxed first, taxed fully, and offers no shelter. Every other form of income, from capital gains to rental income to business distributions, has a door you can close between earning and paying. W-2 income has no door. It arrives already stripped. You are a senior manager now. You got married at 32. Your daughter was born last year. You bought a house in a school district your wife spent 4 months researching. Mortgage, $2,840. Property tax, $620 a month in escrow. Daycare, $1,750. Health insurance for the family, $480 after the employer contribution. Your take-home after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $6,420. Your fixed monthly expenses total $6,180. Your margin is $240. You earn $120,000 a year. Your discretionary income is $240 a month. You sit on the couch at 10 p.m. on a Thursday while your wife sleeps and your daughter breathes softly in the next room, and you open a spreadsheet. You type in every salary you have ever earned and the margin you had at each one. $35,000. Margin $159. $48,000. Margin $325. $65,000. Margin $410. $90,000. Margin $380. It went down because of the car loan. $120,000. Margin $240. In 12 years of climbing, through 4 promotions, 2 job changes, and a 243% salary increase, Your breathing room expanded by $81. $81. You close the laptop. You sit in the dark for a long time. The house is perfectly silent and perfectly expensive. You stand at the kitchen sink the next morning, filling a coffee cup, and you look through the window at the street. A neighbor drives past on his way to work. You wonder what his margin is. You wonder if he knows. The second rule: a salary does not scale your savings, it scales your expenses. The system around you, the housing, the childcare, the insurance, the taxes, is calibrated to absorb exactly what you earn at every level, leaving precisely enough for you to continue showing up on Monday. You are a director. The company announces a restructuring on a Wednesday morning at 9:15 a.m. The email comes from a name you recognize but have never spoken to. 214 positions eliminated across 3 divisions. Your division is one of them. Your name is not on the list, not this time, but your manager's name is. You watch him leave the building at 11 a.m. with a banker's box and an expression you will remember for years. He is 44. He earned $180,000. He had 2 kids in private school. He had a mortgage structured around a salary that no longer exists. His wife calls him in the parking lot. You can see him through the window, standing next to his car, phone pressed to his ear, one hand on the roof of the car, as if he needs to hold on to something physical. You do not hear the conversation. You do not need to. You sit at your desk that afternoon, and you do the math you have been avoiding. If you were laid off today, your savings would cover 11 weeks of expenses. 11 weeks, 3 months of buffer built over 15 years of employment. You realize the thing you never wanted to name. You are not wealthy, you are dependent. Your entire financial architecture requires your continued employment, specifically at this salary, specifically at this company, specifically with this title. Remove any one variable and the structure collapses in 11 weeks. The shift. You stop seeing your salary as your income. You start seeing it as your landlord's income, your lender's income, your daycare provider's income, your government's income. You are the last person who gets to touch the money you earn. Everyone else is paid before you sit down. 18 years of uninterrupted employment, 4 companies, 6 promotions. Your salary has grown from $35,000 to $150,000, a 329% increase. You open a spreadsheet one Sunday evening while the house is quiet, and you calculate your total lifetime gross earnings. The number is $1,540,000. $1.5 million has passed through your hands in 18 years. Your net worth, all accounts combined, is $94,000, a 401k with $71,000, a savings account with $8,200, home equity of $14,800 after 5 years of a 30-year mortgage. You stare at the gap. $1,540,000 earned. $94,000 remaining. That means $1,446,000 was transferred from you to the system, to rent, to taxes, to interest, to insurance, to child care, to groceries, to the mechanism that surrounds every salary like a pipe surrounds water. The money flows through you. It does not stay. The third rule. A salary is not a wealth-building tool. It is a wealth transfer mechanism. You stand at one end, the tax code, the housing market, the insurance industry, the lending system, and the cost of living stand at the other. The money moves from you to them in an unbroken, automated monthly transfer that you signed up for the day you opened your first offer letter. You did not build wealth, you processed it for other people's balance sheets. You think about Nathan. His business generates $420,000 in revenue now. His effective tax rate is still under 19%. He owns the building his business operates in. His net worth at 40 is $610,000. He started with less than you. He earned less than you for the first 5 years. The difference is not effort. The difference is structure. His income passes through a door with deductions on both sides. Your income passes through a pipe with no exits. And somewhere today, a 22-year-old is sitting at his parents' dinner table, staring at an offer letter on his phone. $38,000. He reads the number and feels something warm settle in his chest. He will work hard. He will be promoted. He will double his salary. He will triple it. And in 18 years, he will sit in a quiet house on a Sunday evening and calculate the distance between what he earned and what he kept. And the distance will be so vast that it will feel like the money was never his to begin with. It wasn't. The system processed it. He just held it briefly on the way through. His mother asks from across the table if it is good news. He nods. She smiles. The offer letter glows on the screen. The structure is already waiting.